My name's Scott Larman. Welcome to Dialed In. Today we're going to be talking about extreme deep water fishing. So today we're at one of my favourite lakes, Elstow Pit 2 to be precise. So it's not your average lake, average depths of 30 foot, 35 foot, ups and downs and humps and bumps. I'm going to show you today how we're going to tackle the extremities of fishing on the bars. So when it comes to deep water fishing, there's a few things that I implement into my fishing that I believe gives me the edge, helps me sit behind my rods knowing that I'm fishing effectively. So this particular spot that I'm fishing, we're fishing to a feature that's 28 foot deep, 27, 28 foot. Either side of it is 35 plus. The extreme of it is we're fishing up on basically a wall. So obviously we need to fish effectively on top of that. And there's a few processes we need to do to make sure we're not fishing down here. I'm going to run you through them step by step. So one of the things that I've picked up on over the years fishing here is the use of marker elastic. So obviously most of us, all of us have done it, and a lot of us still do it now. We fish to the clip. You would normally just put your mark up around your distance sticks, put it in the clip, and you cast it out. You hit the clip, you get a drop, and you think, great, I'm fishing. Situations like this where we're fishing on a bar, 28 foot of water, either side's 35 foot, you wouldn't know where you are. The things that affect that is when you cast out and you've got a side wind on, like we have today actually, the wind will pull all the line off of your spool and you'll hit the clip, but your rig will be back here, which means you'll be fishing down here rather than up on top of the bar. Another thing to take into consideration is obviously how hard you hit the clip, the stretch in your mono, especially here because we use mono, we're not allowed to use braid, and obviously if we use fluorocarbon, we don't want the fluorocarbon in 40 foot of water. That wouldn't be ideal. So we've got the stretch in the line, we've got the bow in the line from the wind, and then we've got the swing back. So them three elements are what are going to affect where you fish. Great tip that I've implemented into my fishing while being over here over the last 10 years is marker elastic. Basically the way I use it is I would use the distance sticks as normal. This particular swim is 20 1/4 wrap, so I would wrap it up 20 1/4, put it in the clip, and then I would marker 100 mil at the end of the rod tip. So once I've marked my line, I would then put it out onto the feature. I then like to tighten the line up as much as I can without moving the lead, and then put my rod back onto the alarm. What we're looking for really is the marker elastic to be somewhere around my butt ring. Now, really importantly now is if you tighten up and the marker elastic wants to come past your alarm or anywhere near your reel, it means that the cast has been affected, either by bowing the line from the wind or you've hit the clip too hard, which means rather than being here, you're back here. I would then, at that point, just take the rod off the rest, and I would bring the clip out gradually. So I would put maybe half a rod length on the clip and then put it back out again until I've got the marker elastic somewhere near my butt ring, because I know then that's accounted for the swing back and the bow in the line from the wind. Another positive of using the marker elastic method is it will actually show you the swing back and the difference that you need to set your clip on your spom or your spod, whatever you're using. Obviously, where we've tied the elastic, once you've cast out and you've hit your clip, your elastic might be 100 mil out or a half a rod length out or whatever out the tip of your rod. Once you've tightened down, bowstring tight to that lead, wherever your marker elastic ends up, in this case it will be the butt ring, that will show you the difference on the clip for your spom. In this situation, like I said, it's 10, 11 foot. So that enables me to bait as accurately as possible, and I know all my bait is on my rigs and not down here, not over the back, it's actually where I'm fishing. Another thing I want to touch on today is just the terminal tackle that I'm using for this situation. So it wouldn't be nothing that anyone ain't seen before, but I'm going to tell you why I'm using these components. We've got a few elements that we need to contend with. Firstly, the wind. When we're casting out, I need it not to tangle. Obviously we're fishing in quite deep water, there's a huge undertow here, so I need that to be as effective as possible when it's sitting on the feature. And lastly, there's a few crays in here. Obviously they can grab the rig and they can tie it up and do whatever. With this 25-pound fluoro wire, I know there's an element of it that's going to be resetting as best it can if it's moved by the undertow or the crays. Another key element to this rig that I'm using today is a sharp hook. The hook I'm using of choice is the size 4 Trapper from Atomic. Now these come out of the packet sharp, but more importantly, they stay sharp. I can catch multiple fish on this hook, which means when I've got it out there on the feature, if the cray's moving and mess around, nuisance fish or rocks or stones down there, I know I'm still going to be fishing with a sharp hook. Last but not least is the hook bait of choice. So obviously, as we touched on earlier, there are crays in here. I need to know I'm fishing. One of my rigs I'm using is obviously got double corn on it with a little bit of yellow foam that I'll trim down just to get the hook sitting exactly how I want. But what I do often do here alongside that is I will have a pop-up out. Just in case on this particular day they want something a bit different, then there's option there. But to be honest, if I get bites on the double corn, then generally I would move everything to double corn. While we're on the subject of bait, I want to touch on the mix that I put out. Obviously, with it being 29 foot deep, we need the bait to get down to the bottom of the lake. Obviously, if I just put out a bucket of hemp or pellet or crumb boilie, we're basically just going to be spreading it over 26 acres. So one of the sort of mixes I come up with to effectively get the bait to the spot as fast as possible is basically a mix of hemp, corn, pellet, a good crumbed up boilie and plenty of heavy liquids. We sort of almost make a ground bait out of it. We can actually ball it up if you like and put it in the spawn. So I know when it comes out the spawn that it'll drop straight through the water column, straight to my spot as fast as possible. To be honest, fishing in these depths, I don't think you're ever fishing a tight spot like you think or you would hope. You are, it is going to spread out as such, but I don't think that's a key factor in this type of fishing. So it's not something that I'm really concerned about. The main concern was just getting the bait on my spot and not feeding the rest of the lake. That's the theory. What we're going to do now is put it into practice. There's one more thing that I'm going to sort of run through as I put my rods out, which is what I do with my line once I've hit my clip. So I'll show you that now and you'll sort of understand. As you can see, it looks a bit unorthodox, but basically as soon as I hit the clip, or just before, I put my rod tip under the water. What that does is it pulls my line off of the top of the water and stops the toe dragging it off the spot. It helps a lot. So basically once we've hit the clip, I've got to sort of work the line back round. Obviously there is an element of toe in it from the water and from the wind. So basically what we do is just keep working it back slowly, tightening up to it, just keep working it round, being careful not to move the lead. As you can see, the marker elastic is at my butt ring, which is absolutely ideal. What we'll do is repeat the process with all rods until we've got everything exactly how we want it, and then we'll just leave a little bit of slack out so it drops off the feature. Right, so hit the clip, tip right under the water straight away. Just keep it there until you feel obviously the drop. Bang, so I've hit the drop. Just also sort of trust the process, because obviously I'm fishing mono, 20 wraps, 30 foot deep, and I'm still getting a drop with my rod tip under the water. So that tells you that you're fishing. Again, you can see my marker elastic, it's probably hard to see out the tip of my ring. And all we do now is just pay it off, keep bringing that round. just gently, a bit at a time. What we're doing is bringing the line through the layers, obviously fighting against the toe. Coming around now. So as you can see, this is the perfect situation. That line marker is not exactly right. So let me show you. Obviously, look, I'm still slack. This one's bowstring, this is slack. So I know that is not where I want it to be. So what we do in this situation is I will take it out. There it is at the top there. And all we do is just put a little bit on the clip. So like that, and I will just adjust that a bit at a time for each cast. That way you know, once I get them lined up, that they're identical. That's actually good that they've done that. Yeah. I hit the clip too hard. I don't know if I don't think I hit the clip hard enough, and it didn't pull enough of the bow out of the line. So we're going to put the rod back out. I've adjusted the clip to allow for obviously the wind and everything else. So we're going to put it back out and hopefully get it as we want it this time. Rod under the water. Just keep it held there. As far as you can push it out, the better, because you're allowing the rig to go further away from you rather than swing back. So there you go, we've just hit the bottom there. Same process. Obviously you can see the marker, I don't know if you can see that, it's further away from the reel. So just keep paying it round. It's coming around slow. That's the one. So I'm actually a little bit tight there, so I need a little bit of line out. There we go. So I'm happy with that. I'd be happy if it was in between here and maybe the second ring or the third ring even, because you know, there's not a lot there, but I'm happy with that. They're both bowstring. I know I'm fishing side by side on that feature. Yeah, boy. Right, so again, rod tip under the water, as far out as you can get it. Just gives it as much chance as going further that way onto the feature as possible. There we go, so that's hit bottom. Take it out the clip. Same again. So as you can see, middle rod's gone out perfectly. You can see remnants of the marker. For some reason, part of it's come off. But as you can see, they're pretty much exactly how I would want them. Like I said, there is a bit of tolerance. You don't need to be that anal about it. But obviously, the closer they are, the better. I know all three of them are on the spot out there at exactly the same distance. Looking at my lines, they've gone out pretty perfect, to be honest. Seeing as I put the middle rod out last, which is always the hardest, that gives us the best opportunity to have multiple bites actually, so greed is good. Rods are out. At the minute they're bowstring tight to the lead. I do like to fish with a tight line here because I don't want to give them any chance to go over the back of the bar. So what I do generally is I will just pull off X amount. What that will do, leave it now. The line will sort of find its own way, and that gives us off the feature a nice little drop. So obviously in between here and the feature, it's quite tight, which is what I want. So welcome to the first morning on Elstow. It's been an eventful night, 3 bites in total. Unfortunately we lost the first one. I'll put that down to me, to be honest, but anyway, we've got 2 here. Not the biggest, but it's proof in the pudding that my madness, my method in my madness works. We'll get this one out of the net first, I think. All right, there we go. This is the one we had on first light. Only a little baby. This is an Elstow original, homegrown on site. This is, I mean, obviously it's not the biggest fish in the world, but we're not here for that. We just want to sort of prove that the method that I use is effective. There we go, a little bit bigger. This was the first one of the morning. This is your typical Elstow, homegrown. This is one of the babies. Had this on double corn. The story behind this one is I think it was 5 or 6 casts before I was happy where my marker was on my line. I have to do that, otherwise I can't sit behind my rods. And here we go, this is proof that it works. So let's have a look at the other side. This side's a bit better actually. Let's do it. Let's slip her back. We've still got 3 rods on the spot, waiting for the morning madness. Go. Come off. What happened there? Hook's good. Lead's not come off, yeah. Could have been a trailer. Could have been a trailer. Or it could have been just not vicious enough for the lead to drop off and it's just gone behind the bar. That's probably what's happened. It's just gone bang straight over the back of the bar. We go again, it's fine. All right, let's let this one go. Let's get this rod back out. That's the one. That's the bite. Just let that come round. Whoa. Yeah, we got a proper one here. Because I've had 2 drop off, for reasons unexplained, I'm a little bit nervy. That was the middle rod that I put out at 2 o'clock this morning. Double corn, bucket of bait. This one just feels different. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, all good. Right, now, what I don't want it to do is go around this corner because you can't get them back. Good thing about this deep water, you can just let them plod around. There isn't nothing down there except some depth, so they just tire themselves out. There we go. This is bionic, this fish, mate. There we go, come on. There we go. Get in. That's it. Well, I never. That is bionic, wasn't it? Carnage, mate. Well, look, that's bigger than, it's the biggest one we've had yet, that one. Yeah, it's not as big as I thought it was, good, but that thing is that's a machine. Unreal, mate. Unreal. Unreal. Okay.
Just say we're gonna have one.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's over yet. I think we're gonna have another in a second. Yeah, boy. That is lovely. Well, how about that? The biggest of the lot so far. The best looking of the lot so far. This is fish number 3, double corn. Again, fishing to the marker on the line. This rod actually went out at 3 o'clock this morning in the dark. Again, the marker elastic is aiding me to get onto that feature and know that I'm fishing even in the dark. Proof, here's the proof here. Right, so it's 20 to 12, and in all honesty, I thought today's bites, well, for the morning anyway, were over. We've had the drone up just to have a little look and see where they might be. Not to chase them around, just see where they are. And it turns out the mother load is over on the flats on the far side. But I've decided to leave the rod in anyway, just, you know, because you never know. And we were right to do so, because we're bent into one right now. Red hot, massively high pressure, not many clouds in the sky, and we've had a bite in 29 foot of water. Just goes to show what we think we know is not always the case. This was also the rod that I cast about 10 times because I weren't happy with it, might add. Yeah, which again, it's all to do with the marker elastic. It all leads to the marker elastic. Because if I didn't have that on, I would have thought I was fine, but I wasn't. There you go, look, I ain't coming in. Right, that's enough. You're coming back now. Yeah, she's better. Yeah, she'll do. She'll do. She'll do. Ah, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, mate. Yeah, she'll do. Oh my God. It's a hot cross bumfish. It's a hot cross bum. That's the hot cross bum. Let me check my photo. That's the hot cross bumfish. That is what that is, mate. That's I'm pretty sure that's the lake record. It's a hot cross bum. Oh my days. It's a hot cross bum, mate. That's 40, upper 30. Might be down in weight, but that's the hot cross bum. If the other side's a linear, it's a hot cross bumfish, mate.
Good boy.
Yeah, I need to just double check because my mind's racing, but I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah, man. That's the one. Cool.
Cool.
Let me get my phone. Right, listen, I have had this fish before a long while ago. Good that side. Yeah. Well, here we go. As you can see from the sun, massive high pressure today. Obviously went very quiet this morning. We put the drone up and saw obviously most of the lake were in the shallows. But I thought we'd persevere, leave the rods out. We knew they were fishing. We knew the bait was out there and I'm glad we did. Here we go. The hot cross bumfish. This is the one that everyone wants in here. And it's mine. This just proves again, fishing accurately to the line marker, baiting accurately. This is what can happen. Turn around the other way. It's like, just keeps giving, doesn't it? Well, here's the other side. This is the fish that just keeps giving. Look at it. Crazy. Ah. Yeah? That's what I like. I like that. I like that. It's ridiculous, isn't it? That's the right hand rod again, last one we put out. Another little tip that I've got is, this may sound a bit weird or you might already know it, but when I don't want the fish going that way and it starts going that way, if I put the rod pressure the way it's going, it'll turn more often than not and then it'll go the opposite way, which is the way you want it to go, if that makes sense. Yeah, have you? Yeah. The other day it didn't work. I had one in here. It was when Jake was with me, and it was just like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing it. It went right round there. Thing is, in this deep water as well, you don't actually have to use your clutch as much because they're down so deep, especially when you're using mono. They sort of just tire themselves out on a long line. get the odd one that is a bit of a Trojan, mate, and you've got to give it some. It's a plodder. It's definitely a plodder. Yeah, feels heavier than what I thought it was actually. Yeah. So, I'll start again. Right, I don't actually know what number fish this is, if I'm honest. But anyway, it's only a little one. We'll get it out, a few snaps. Right hand rod. Actually, the right hand rods produce most fish at the moment. I only just put it out a couple of hours ago. So I think now it's time for another bucket of bait and see if we can get some bites on the other rods. Yeah, mate. Happy days. Right, I'm going to take a few minutes just to talk you through the rig, my rig of choice that I've been using today and for most of the year, to be fair. So, starting with the material, we've got 25-pound fluoro wire soft. On each end of that, we've got a figure of 8. So at the business end, we've got a size 8 Ronnie swivel. That is connected to a size 4 trapper. Now that is my hook of choice for most of my rigs, to be fair. So moving on from that, we've got a anchor tungsten kicker, a double corn, fake corn that's connected to a ring swivel, and then the hook bead. Now note where the hook bead is on this, because I don't want it to be popped up. The hook bead is just below the barb, so it's sort of more towards the back of the eye and the back of the hook. The reason for that is because I don't want it as a pop-up presentation. I want it to be half cocked. So once I've set the bead where I want it, I will then trim the hook bait to get the desired presentation. So at the other end, we've got another figure of 8 loop, which I would connect to a quick change swivel. As you can see, there is, well, there is an anti-tangle sleeve there, but it's not for anti-tangle purposes. It's simply just to secure the rig in place on the swivel. So I chop that down because I don't want it to interfere with the figure of 8. Now, obviously, moving on from that, we've got the figure of 8. That, along with the material, will help me get the presentation that I need, and I know that I'm fishing consistently, no matter what. This is basically the rig I've been using. I've got great confidence in it, and there you go. So another eventful night. Left hand and middle rods gone. Got one left on the spot. One of them's on the smaller size. I think we're going to tip that back. Lee's had 2 as well also in the night. He's only got 1 red rod left on the spot. We've got a lovely fully in the net, so we'll get that out. Let's let this baby go. I mean, look at it though, it's going to be lovely, look. Yeah. Strong as well, mate. Bionic. Go on, off you go. Right, here we go. Fish number 7, finishing on a high. It's been a mad couple of days. Hopefully you can put some of this into your own fishing. It'll definitely 100% give you an advantage and put more fish on the bank. Hopefully you enjoyed this session of Dialed In. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, sweet. It's going to be a bit of a mission this. If I lift her, can you open up the mat? It's gold, isn't it? So we've only just put the what we thought was the last fish back, and the last rod is gone. The other 2 I didn't bother putting back out. Literally, you can't write it, mate. You can't. Timing was perfect on that, wasn't it? I'm not even going to say it. It feels really good, but they all do in this deep water, don't they? They hold bottom. You just think it's so heavy, and they come up to the surface. It's like, are you joking? As I keep stressing, you just literally, I mean, this tactic with the marker, this is just proof in the pudding. I actually do it everywhere I go, to be honest, not just on these sort of features that are sort of abnormally high. I put it into all of my fishing. If I'm fishing, you know, into the pond and I want to fish free on a spot, this is how I do. If you put it into your fishing, it will 100% stack the odds in your favour. That is a fact. Obviously, you need the fish there as well, but if they're there and you're fishing accurately, then you've got a good chance. But if you're sloppy, you ain't got a chance. Oh, I don't know. Right, there we go. So as you can see previously, we were just putting what we thought was the last fish back, and this one decided it wanted to have a little munch. This really is the last one because I've got no more rods left in the pond. So I think this will be a wrap, but a good one to end on. Other side's nice as well. Oh, lovely, isn't they? Yeah, got it. Nice. Got it. Nice. That's it. That's officially over for me now. I'm done. Well, no. I mean, the desperate angler in me says, yeah, I'm going to stay another night, but I ain't, because I'm going to go home and be a good husband. You know what I mean? I'm going off tomorrow. It's a wrap, mate.